Hollywood. From Hollywood. Welcome to the Rat's Ass Podcast with Mojo Elliott.
Oh, I know what you're thinking. Oh, boy, it's Monday. Well, did you have a good 4th of July weekend, though? All fingers and toes intact? Are you sporting a beer belly that shakes like jelly? You too, gentlemen. Of course, I just had a salad because, nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. Yeah. All right, who's ready to go on another action-packed adventure? Here's what's on tap on the Wrap. Elon wants to get it on. Is TikTok about to clone itself? What do you do about the office food burglar? We have an idea for you. The top 5 reasons you should remain single for the rest of your damn life. Ozzy bids farewell and adieu, and another round of head trauma is on the way. Today, we're going to play the mystery voice. Plus our usual lunacy and loose behavior, including Saw It on the X. That's what's coming up today on the Rat's Ass Podcast for Monday, July 7th. Thanks for being here for episode number 98. 99 on Wednesday, and the milestone 100th episode coming up on Friday. We hope you can make it. All right, before I get going here, it should go without saying that our sympathies and prayers are with Texas right now. It was a tragic weekend for so many in the Lone Star State, and as we do the podcast, the death toll is up to 80 and beyond. It's going to take a while before we get a final count. A lot of people missing. But as they say, the show must go on. I've had a lot of experience with shows going on after a tragedy. I was on the air when Reagan got shot. I was on the air when the space shuttle exploded in 86, when 9/11 happened, back in 94 when the Northridge earthquake happened here in L.A. It was a 6.7 on the Richter scale. I was on the air for that one, too. So we'll do the best we can today. Couple of quick program notes. Rat Nation now has 387 members strong. We're getting close to 400. All right, Radio Wars also continues on the blog. Our search for the best classic rock station in America rolls on. You can check it out at ratsasspodcast.com. New episodes, new battles every Monday and Thursday for the Radio Wars. All right, you want to come close for this one because I had a really juicy dream last night. Yeah. I was working for the LAPD and my partner was Margot Robbie. Are you intrigued? Mm-hmm. You're thinking that we're on patrol and we're pulling off on a side street. No, that wasn't part of the dream. But I got to say, we did look pretty hot in our tight blue uniforms. But in this dream, we were returning back to the station after a day of patrolling the streets in Los Angeles. And we're walking through the officer's pit when one of the detectives, who turned out to be my high school basketball coach, go figure, said, well, if it isn't Sweet Dick and Sugar Tits. And you wonder why I am the way I am. All right, let's get into the wrap. Elon Musk ran a poll on X asking if users would join a third party if they gave power back to the people. Leading question, wouldn't you say? 64% said yes. Now, I think I can speak for all of us when I say we're all kind of fed up with DC, regardless of party affiliation. Now, as a libertarian, I belong to a third party anyway. Now, if you include independents as a party, we have a 4-party system as it is. Elon's would be a 5th party. Now, the problem is we've never had a serious libertarian or independent candidate outside of Ross Perot back in 1992. Now, I've maintained that Donald Trump, by the way, is more of a libertarian than a Republican, but that's just my weirdness. But Elon's party is going to be called the America Party. But he has no platform. He has no candidates yet. It's kind of weird to me that a guy of his stature would launch a party called the America Party with no platform, no candidates. I mean, is this just for the presidency only, or is it going to be a national movement where you're going to have candidates running for every office, city to city? To me, that's a movement. That's a party, not just for the presidency only. So you'd think if Elon, a man of his stature, was serious, he would have had a website with the whole platform lined out, candidates lined up, the whole thing, before saying, hey, we have a new party for you to join. And here's what bugs me most about all of this. We only have a name. And yet we have people ready to jump on board the America Party.
What are you people? On dope?
All right, as you know, TikTok, in its current state, is set to shut down September 17th unless they can find a buyer for the app, an American suitor. Now, apparently there are people lined up to buy this thing, and ByteDance, who owns it, has to give their blessing. China has to give their blessing. Now, September 17th rolls around. If we don't have a deal done, Trump will probably extend the date. They're not going to shut down TikTok, I don't think, unless they shut it down as a way to hurry this up. But here's the deal. ByteDance, who owns TikTok, right now apparently is developing a brand new TikTok app. I don't know what the name's going to be yet. Could be TikTok 2. Maybe it's TikTok-toe. Who knows? But it's going to be available in the App Store September 5th. So here's my question to you. Let's say you got 1 million plus followers, 100,000 plus followers, and this transition is seamless with the new owners of TikTok. Would you switch to the new platform knowing that it's communist run? Build that following all over again, or would you just stay put? Something to ponder from the Rat's Ass Podcast. All right, have you ever dealt with a food burglar at work? You know, the rat bastard who takes your lunch and leaves you mad from starvation? Boy, I have. And I'll tell you, the only way that you can deal with these people is by using a powerful laxative. And what I would do is I was really good at making chili. In fact, once upon a time, I was a chili cooking champion. So my way of doing it was I'd make a really tasty bowl of chili and set them up, put it in the fridge, and they would take it. Oh, and it would be so good, they were looking forward to the next one. Well, the next one had a little extra in it. And when you put the laxative in, you just sit back and you wait, like a deer hunter. You're just waiting for the deer to walk by and you go, hello. Well, at the point the person jumps up, makes that noise with the chair flying across the room, makes a beeline for the shitter, knocking everyone and everything in their path out of the way, boom, there's your culprit. That's how you find out. That's how we did it, how I did it. Now, one guy took it to a whole new level. It's clean, it's easy, not as much fun, but he actually took a safe to work. And he put his sandwich and his drink in one of those little freezer pouches that I think you can get. Put it inside the safe, locked it up. Problem solved. Brilliant! I thought so. Just not as much fun, though. Just waiting in the weeds for the guy to jump up. Could be a girl, too. It's even better if it's a girl. She's stealing your lunch. All right, as you may have heard, more and more people are choosing to stay single these days, especially men, because they feel the system is rigged against them. But here are the top 5 reasons people say they remain single today. Number 1, they like the idea of coming and going as they please. You can focus on building a better you by starting a business, perhaps. You know, relationships are tough on entrepreneurs because you've always got that partner going, you never want to spend time with me. You get to spend all your money on you. You don't have to share it with anybody unless you want to. You can buy material things, take off on a trip. Yeah, just get wild. It's your money. Do what you want to with it. All yours. You can date, which is code for bang, whoever you want for the rest of your life. You can have a body count so big it'll make a porn star blush. And finally, social media freedom, which leads me to believe this study was done by Facebook and Instagram. They want you hooked for life. From the time you're just a young teen to a wrinkled up old prune, they want you posting selfies and talking about your life on social media, and you don't have to worry about it ruining your relationship, which can happen. All right, Ozzy Osbourne took his final bow on Saturday, and they went back to Birmingham, England, where it all began for Black Sabbath in 1970. 40,000 people showed up to say farewell to the Prince of Darkness. I don't know how many streamed it, because it was an event, a worldwide event. Did you watch? I watched. What a great show, man. I didn't expect, I didn't really look into it a whole hell of a lot before we did the special for Ozzy Osbourne. We just focused on Black Sabbath and Ozzy, but Metallica was there, Guns N' Roses, Pantera, Tool, Slayer, Alice in Chains, and they had a lot of super group jams, too, including Steven Tyler did a hell of a version with Whole Lot of Love. Tom Morello, Billy Corgan, Chad Smith, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. They all got together and did some jams. It was pretty good. And then Ozzy did a set of his solo stuff, about 30 minutes with Black Sabbath. And, of course, Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, and Bill Ward, they let him back in the band for this show. So it was really the original Black Sabbath members. Now, Ozzy did the entire show on a gothic-looking throne because he can't walk. He's 77 now, and he has issues standing and walking. But vocally, Ozzy was as crisp as I ever heard him. Overall, show, standing ovation. I give it a 10. And true to form, though, Ozzy, first thing out of his mouth, let me see your fucking hands. If he wrote a book about his life now, after all of this, let me see your fucking hands should be the title. Really should. But it was well done. I'm sure you'll be able to purchase it at some point, maybe stream it. When it's free, though, on YouTube, we'll post it on our YouTube channel, Rat's Ass Rock TV, where you can still watch the Best of Ozzy special we put together. And we'll leave that up through Sunday and take it down on Monday, because we're going to start doing other specials, too, just to entice you to come and join and subscribe to Rat's Ass Rock TV.
He loves to rub his 3 balls for good luck. Here is Mojo Elliott with Rat Sports.
Yes, I'm rubbing them right now, as a matter of fact. All right, I question whether hot dog eating is a sport or not, but screw it. We're going to lead with it anyway. Congratulations to Joey Joss Chestnut Free, gaining his title as hot dog eating champion, winning the Nathan's competition on July 4th. Joey put away 70.5 hot dogs in 10 minutes and had to sleep with his ass pointed to an open window for 3 days. I should be able to close it tonight, as a matter of fact. Condolences to the family and friends of former baseball pitcher Bobby Jenks. God, this guy was lights out when he pitched. He passed away at the young age of 44. Now, Jenks finished with 173 career saves, ranking him 75th all-time. I just remember when he came out, it was like, game over. Game over. Reminded me of Rob Dibble, who I loved as a Red. All right, the Major League All-Star teams were announced on Sunday, and now all we're waiting to find out is who will be the starting pitchers. But I say, who gives a rat's ass? Okay, they're going to throw one inning. It has no bearing on the game. It's just symbolic to me. Circle July 15th next week for the game, and Home Run Derby on the 14th in Atlanta. Should be pretty good. We always love the Home Run Derby. All right, Major League Baseball draft is also coming up on July 13th and 14th. The Washington Nationals have the number 1 pick, and a lot of people say, I don't really give a rat's ass about the Major League Baseball draft. And I get it, because rarely does the number 1 pick have an immediate impact on the team. They have to go to the minor leagues and be developed first. So if that doesn't tell you how hard it is to play Major League Baseball, nothing will. I mean, think about it. NFL, number 1 pick, immediate impact. NBA, immediate. NHL, immediate. Major League Baseball, see in 2 to 4 years, maybe. All right, and that is sports for you on the Wrap.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, let's play the mystery voice. Listen close and tell me who you think this celebrity is. Listen tight.
Now that you mentioned it, I don't remember a lot of kindness. I think he mentioned he watched it.
All right, listen close again.
Now that you mentioned it, I don't remember a lot of kindness. I think he mentioned he watched it.
All right, think about it. Take a while, do it up, and I'll have the answer for you coming up on the podcast.
It's time for some loose behavior on the Rat's Ass Podcast.
Yeah, here is what is happening on the Rat's Ass Podcast X feed. We call it Saw It on the X. The X Warrior posted this one. What's the smallest car you've ever had sex in? Okay, when I read the question, I put myself in the situation. I'm 6'2", 180. You'll probably do the same. All right, Tony Gentry said, a Mini Cooper. Not happening for me on a Mini Cooper. Gina Byrne said, a Volkswagen Bug. Really? Oh, my God. I want to see the video on that one. And Melissa Carter said, a Fiat 500. That little pissant Fiat 500. I mean, to have sex in that, she's got to be like 4'5" and him 5'1". I mean, who in the hell could have sex in a Fiat 500? I look at that thing and think about having sex in a Fiat and think, Fiat stands for, forget it again tonight.
Hey, heads up. Here comes your celebrity cheese.
All right, while we're having our 4th of July celebrations, we lost a couple of decent actors over the weekend. Michael Madsen, who was in Reservoir Dogs and Kill Bill, and he had 300 movies to his credit, passed away of a heart attack at his home in Malibu. Michael was 67. And Joey McMahon, who was in the Fantastic Four and on the TV show Charmed, also passed away at the age of 56 of cancer. He had several credits to his resume as well, but may they both rest in peace, along with Bobby Jenks. All right, this happened last night, believe it or not, backstage at Back to the Beginning with Ozzy Osbourne.
Kelly, you know I love you more than anything in the world. Fuck up, you're not married more, do it. Nothing would make me happier than to spend the rest of my life with you. So in front of your family and all of our friends, Kelly, will you marry me?
Yep, that's Sid Wilson, the turntablist for the band Slipknot. He asked for Kelly Osbourne's hand in marriage, and she said yes. Ozzy, of course, has to be sitting there thinking, this is the best my daughter can do? A fucking turntablist? All right, model and former Dancing with the Stars contestant Brooks Nader made news this weekend when she wore a white dress to Wimbledon, and Mother Nature said, hey, what's up, girlfriend? Nader's getting rave reviews for how she handled the stain on her dress from getting her period. Yes, she was stopped, took photos, was very casual about the whole thing, walking around with her stained dress. But I think she's used to walking around with another stain, her boyfriend. All right, the word is Sean Diddy Combs received a standing ovation from his fellow inmates when he returned to the joint after he was found guilty of being a pimp. And screams of, hey, hook a brother up were also heard being said. All right, James Gunn, who plays the Man of Steel in the next version of Superman, called Legacy. It's due out this Friday. He says this one is about an immigrant that came from other places. Now, I hate to give the ending up, but the Fantastic Four deport Superman's ass back to Krypton. Yeah. And to catch you up, Britney Spears has now been single for 138 days.
Who gives a rat's ass?
Rat's Ass Podcast. Email from our Gmail.
All right, as you know, I do not read your email in advance. My producer, Fleabag, forwards them to me with your name, where you're from, and rewrites them so I can read them rapid fire and on the fly. And as you know, no topic is ever off the table. All right, Samantha S., Calabasas, California. Oh, I love Calabasas. I shop at Bristol Farms there. Samantha, we might run into each other in the pepperoni aisle one day. And okay, forget what you're thinking about the pepperoni. Maybe it'll be in the lettuce section. Okay, but anyway, she says, how is your podcast different from your radio show? Got to get my mind out of the gutter. All right, well, on the radio, I always had two ladies as my partners. It was a morning threesome, so to speak. You know, plus we played music, so imagine the same dipshittery that you're hearing right now on the Rat's Ass Podcast with two chicks and the hits playing. It was tits and hits with me running the show. That was basically it. All right, Tiny B, Jackson, Mississippi. I saw on X where you said Steven Tyler would be in your top 3 list of best male rock vocalists. Who's 1 and 2? Well, Robert Plant, number 1 from Led Zeppelin, Freddie Mercury from Queen, number 2, followed by Steven Tyler of Aerosmith. And the reason being is that when you think of those 3 guys, people have tried, but nobody has successfully duplicated their success. Okay, they stand alone. Robert Plant, Freddie Mercury, Steven Tyler. You want to open the debate? ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. Let's do it. All right, Jake W. from Fort Collins, Colorado said, do you think the Lakers will trade Dalton Connect? Well, it's quite possible. I mean, the Lakers signed Jake LaRivia, and he's kind of the same type of player as Connect, with a little bit more NBA experience, because they lost Dorian Finney-Smith, so they may package Dalton with Hachimura and throw in Shake Milton, for crying out loud, to find a decent power forward who can play defense to replace Finney-Smith. They got to do it. I mean, Connect, by the way, hasn't been the same player since he was traded to Charlotte, and they blocked the trade, and he came back to the Lakers. Summer League, he's looked terrible. The first game against Golden State, he was 0 for 6 from 3, finished with 10 points in 30 minutes. And keep in mind, Summer League's against rookies, and he's only 10 points in 30 minutes. Yesterday against Miami, 0 for 3 from 3, played 22 minutes, only had 4 points. 0 for 9 from 3, and that's supposed to be his game over 2 games. Now, either he's sandbagging, so nobody will want to trade for him, or he's just off to a really bad start to this season. You know, sophomore slump, all of that. All right, Best T in Warwick, Rhode Island said, do you think Laurent Mamdani actually has a chance to win the mayor of New York City? Well, it's quite possible. You know, if you believe the polls, he's leading the incumbent Eric Adams by close to 20 points right now. But I say just let him talk, let him keep going and saying what he's been saying. But I'll tell you this, if Newark elects this guy, selling turd sauce as he is, he's going to turn New York into one ginormous lab rat experiment. You watch and see. They're going to regret it. All right, Gorman H., Somerville, North Carolina, said, I got back with my ex a few weeks ago, and now I'm regretting it. The problem is she left the guy she was with for 2 years for me. I want out, but I kind of feel stuck. How do I get out of it? Well, Gorman, the heart doesn't want what the heart doesn't want, and it's wrong for you to string her along if it's not something you want. Okay? So you got to make a decision. You got to make sure this is what you want to end it and do it. It's not fair to her. So my guess is, though, she'll make up with the other guy if he'll have her. I mean, it just depends on how much of a loser he is, but that's probably what's going to happen. All right, Emma K. from Dresden, Germany said, I have a comment for you. Anyone supporting communism in America, yeah, you're right, should have their head examined. I encourage anyone thinking about voting in communism into America to please read about the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989. Yeah, the fall of the wall in 89 started the reunification of Germany, leading to the fall of communism, about a year later? So I agree with Emma. Go do your homework, gang. Chop, chop. Go. Do your homework on the Berlin Wall. All right, if you have any questions, observations, or comments, send them to my producer, Fleabag, at ratsasspodcast.com or ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. The more outrageous and salacious.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, today we are playing the mystery voice. Did you figure it out? Listen close. Tell me who this celebrity is.
Now that you mentioned it, I don't remember a lot of kindness. I think he mentioned he watched it.
All right, did you say Ben Affleck? If you did.
Yeah, baby.
All right, but if you missed it, go see your doctor about your head trauma and get well soon. All right, I got a split because I'm having a reverse circumcision today, but I do have one more thing for you. Did you know women tell an average of 11 lies per week and men rattle off an average of 58? That's 69 total lies. So any way you slice it, gang, there's a lot of frickin' lying going out there, and mostly by despicable Democrats.
What is the biggest lie you've ever told?
Oh, wow. Good question, Alexa. I'd have to say I've killed once and killed again.
That's sick, twisted, and disturbed.
Not really. Picture yourself in a bar. You're about to ready to go fisticuffs with a bunch of guys. You jump up on a pool table with a pool cue and you scream, "I've killed once and I'll kill again." When you're a big guy like me, they're kind of like, "Okay, we get it. We like to live." Yeah. Alexa, let me ask you, what's the biggest lie you have ever told?
I'm programmed to always tell the truth.
Really? Really? Okay, well, let me test you on that one. Let me test you. What does California's slumlord governor use for hair gel?
Would you believe he uses bull semen?
Yeah, I do, because he's so full of bullshit.
How about those shout-outs to Rat Nation Killer?
She is on it. Killer. Yeah, thank you for that one. Clyde Morris, Etherton, California. Jared Carmichael of Corvallis, Oregon. And Teresa Browning in Joplin, Missouri. To the Resistance, those of you who email us and haven't joined Rat Nation yet. Karen L. in Prescott, Arizona. Myron C. in Sun Valley, Idaho. And Jesse D. in Sparks, Nevada. And around the world to listeners in Bucharest, Romania. Madrid, Spain, and Glasgow, Scotland.
Now's your chance to be one of the few and the loud. Join Rat Nation at ratsasspodcast.com. Membership does have its rewards, you know.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the Rat's Ass Podcast. Be sure to check out ratsasspodcast.com to connect with us on the socials, listen to podcasts, join Rat Nation, and read the blog. It is loaded with current events, pop culture, music, concert info, the radio war, sports, our Q&A, Battle of the Sexes, plus the Dumbass Awards for 2025 so far. We'll do this again on Wednesday, July 9th. Take care of each other, please. And thanks for dropping by the Rat's Ass Podcast.
The conversation continues between podcasts on X and ratsasspodcast.com. ratsasspodcast.com.